Thanks for tuning in to Stock Car Facts. If you wouldn't mind hitting the like button, and if you're going to comment, please comment here on YouTube. I appreciate the comments on other social media pages, but it sure does help me here. And please subscribe to our page and hit that notification bell so when some other content pops up, you can be ready when it's there. Don't pay attention to me in the old reflection in the glass here. We're in downtown Detroit, February 28th, the weekend of that day and March 1st and 2nd for the annual Autorama. I'm not sure which number this is. I know back in the 70s I was here, and that's how I basically got started on all my motorsports media, because remember Chuck Friedman from Grand National Scene was here selling those, and I bought a ton. And one broke doing it, but it kind of set me on a course to participating in motorsports media. Coming on in now, and just want to remind folks that we are AI free. Everything I create is created by me. No robots, no artificial quote-unquote intelligence. Well, you got a little bit with, media and editing and things like that, but you know what? It's obviously my announced voice. You don't want to see my face, trust me. Well, maybe I should use some AI to prove this big round head of mine. But anyhow, well, coming on in, gonna go cash in my receipt for discount receipt that you can get at O'Reilly's Auto Parts for those of you who are coming down here. No offense to anybody who comes down to the auto show, but I'm sorry. I'm not a big fan of paying to come down and pay for a ticket to sell me a car. So I'd rather come down and see the hot rods. That's what I'm intending to do, or if I was back down south, be fixing to do. So we'll be checking back in a second. Okay, we're gonna head on in. And I'm holding the camera down here so the ladies at the front don't get all freaked out that I'm videoing. Hello.
You all set? Thank you.
Thank you. Cruising programs. Coming in. Do we need to get the... Oh, we're coming in. I always love the way these lights are laid out. When you come in and you look around and you go, gee, which way do I start? But I always start on the one end this way and then make my way up and down the rows. That's the way I go, because that way you usually don't miss anything. But then you got all the dealer parts here, the aftermarket guys selling their stuff. And no offense, but I won't be buying. But you never know what you can find out here. Detroit Mount Jesus. Got to give them equal time. You got Detroit Muscle. You got t-shirt companies. Oh, nice caddy. But sorry, you don't see it now. You'll see it in a little bit. I always like these neon sign companies, even though they've been here forever, and I don't think I've ever talked to any one of them. And like I said, when I was here first as a kid, they were selling Stock Car Magazine and Grand National Scene and papers like that. And I caught it just after the beginning of the 1980 season. And I was able to buy all the previous year's issues. Petty winning the title, the Clash, Daytona, Buddy Baker winning the Daytona 500. And so that's why I always keep my eye out. 45 years later, some of the other good things are out here that I'm missing. First I thought this was a Henry J, the way the back window went, but this is a 57 Chevy Bel Air Starliner, it says. Very interesting. Had to come see this 66 AMC Marlin. I don't know why my brain goes to Chrysler for this model, but it's definitely an American Motors model. I don't know why they didn't race these. That'd be almost looks like the 67 Dodge Charger, you know. So I don't know why in the world this wouldn't race unless the factory said, you know what, we're not paying, so go race something else that'll pay you. I'm sure that was it. So where's Grandpa Munster?
When I seen this, I was like, okay, that's different. I'd never seen that one, so I was just kind of wondering how they tied
I guess we need the Munsters theme. Very interesting. Ford Model T and a half, I guess, because it's got two engines, right? I love when they lift the side of these cars up. The display is really neat. You know, the way they kind of, you know, showcase the sides, because you're not looking down at it, you're looking at the side. Beautiful 65 Ford Galaxy there. Of course, that air dam on the bottom, I don't know about that. I guess you don't drive it anywhere, and I wouldn't either. '65 Buick Riviera, another beautiful GM creation. Looks like the Roadhouse headlights open and close, at least I assume they do. Beautiful Chrysler Imperial, pearl white, pretty blue interior. This is a 6061. That looks like the original interior. Of course, hard to tell. Let's see. Nope, 61. Oh, 60, sorry. Dyslexic, not am I. So you get a demonstration of them suicide doors. Maybe these mafiosos, when they got rid of these cars, they look like this. 65 Lincoln Continental. Very, very nice. Of course, having to get in and out of it, bending down that far, I don't know about that. Got another 1946 model here, 46 Ford. Nice color. And look at the size of that interior. Now you look down, you get inside these cars, and you look down on some of the other roofs with these cars, and you almost have to duck. But these cars right here got a lot of headroom. But, you know, aerodynamics and all that kind of stuff. I would always say if I buried my Hot Wheels in the backyard, would these grow up? Yeah, you wish, right? That Hot Wheels hood pin holding up the hood. Quite a large car, but I don't care. Beautiful 1963 Pontiac Grand Prix. And I was going to say a winner in NASCAR, but not really. It was the 60 61s, 62s are the ones who won all the races. Okay, folks, what is it? Is it a Jaguar or a Jaguar? Leave your phonetic spelling in the comments if you would. Nice, nice, nice. 56 Studebaker Golden Hawk. Of course, you wouldn't know by the color, but I love that interior. It looks small on the outside, but it looks really big on the inside. What's that gear shift like? I don't like the fact it's resting up against the seat. Because how do you shift gears if that's as far back as it goes? '46 Plymouth, which you might see on the cup tracks at the time, because at the time they didn't have anything else to run, because the car companies hadn't restarted production yet after the war. So a car like this, a 49 Chevy, 48 Ford, those are the cars you'd see. This aqua blue in this 47 Chevy. Look at the size of that engine compartment. Oh. When I had my 71, we just took the hood off and just sat on the wheel wells. But these are the wheel wells. But what is that? It's like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a 6, straight 6. Those are basically indestructible. That's right, who wants comfort in there. I'm sorry, I'm not hauling anything in this particular one. Now, I had this model car on my shelf for quite a while. Don't know what I did with it. Blew a few up, threw a few out because I rushed through them. But the real thing, very nice. The prosecutor, well, of course. Of course. The 1968 Pontiac Tempest. My uncle had a 66, but it was gold, well, like a copper, and two-door. But he blew the motor because he liked to rest his hand on the gear shift lever for some reason. Oops. And of course, need the orange air cleaner top on the Hemi. I almost don't want to show a Datsun. No offense to those people who like Datsuns, but that's a pretty color, and I kind of like it. That'll work. Plymouth GTX. Incredible shade of orange. I would, I should tell this guy don't leave his garage door open. Obviously, I'm a Chevy fan. 69 Camaro, and just that navy blue. I was going to say black. I did a double take and said, oh, got to change the color of that. And then this is not bad right here either. The Mercury here. That would be a girl car totally. I guess this is a present to that young lady. Her face under the hood. 2002 Mercury Grand Marquis. Not bad. Of course, I don't know how she's going to drive it with all that in there. But very nice Valentine's Day gift. I assume that's what it was. No, I'm not old enough to remember the Buick station wagon, but I do remember that kind of stuff in the back, ready to go out and camp. 1969 Mach 1. Ooh. Sure, people would say, yep, classic muscle car. I would kind of have to agree. I'm a big Chevy fan, but you know, the Oldsmobiles, the Buicks, the Pontiacs, the Cadillacs, those are definitely also my favorites. Mature-o-matic. Very nice. Very nice. Oldsmobile rocket motor. See, these are the kind of cars I like. They're not all, you know, jacked around and hot rodded up and things like that. These are the cars I like. 1971 Ford pickup. Love that. What is that? Probably hard to tell coming through the camera, but is that blue or is that purple? Don't see a whole lot of boats here at these shows, but look who signed this one. Mr. Barry Sanders. Very nice. Team 20 Racing, yeah. I can see that. Oh yeah. Very nice, very nice. I like it. Doesn't say he has anything to do with it, but yeah, that'll work. That'll work. I talking about earlier? Why not? And doubtful you'll burn yourself on any of the engine parts or side pipes or anything. My dad used to have a 71. Black on brown, you know, black vinyl top. But this color is amazing. Whew, I almost wouldn't want to take it out on the street. Chris and Judy Grove, Shelby Township. Wow, this this should win an award or something. This is beautiful. 1967 Harley Spirit. Again, that's got to be so hot. Ouch. I know, what a weapon. Is it candy apple red? Oh. Well, where's the trikes? I mean, those are the popular ones now, aren't they? Like the King Rides and the Charity, the Kyle Petty, Victory Junction Gang, Charity Rides. Got all those trikes out there. Oh, here's one sorta. Oh my. Where do you sit? I guess you stand. Like the blue. The Honda. What do we used to call those? Crotch rockets when we were kids. I remember those Hondas and those ASF ads. Remember those ads? ASF owned everything. And Honda was in them. Now, why wasn't I able to find one of those when I was a kid? Oh, that's right. My dad wouldn't buy me one. But I wanted a go-kart anyway. So something like this, yeah, I'd have been like, huh? I would have wanted the go-karts. But Jim Rutman Cycle Shop, got smart and got those mopeds out. Strapped a Briggs & Stratton engine on them. Sold them like hotcakes and made a cajillion. And there's your small car, all in your small bikes. I don't know what that is. I guess it's motor. It says motor wheeling. Oh, it attaches to the bicycle. Ah, got it. Talk about a Honda. Oh yeah, this brings back memories. When I was a kid, kids zipping up and down the neighborhood. Of course, back then you get in trouble for doing that. Nowadays, cops can't chase those kids anymore because they'll get in trouble. The cops chase them, the kids crash, cop gets in trouble. I guess we're in La La Land. Well, it's been on the outside of what? Many a grocery store. I'm sorry, riding bikes like this, I always feel like you get tired. Stretching yourself out to do it like that. But probably shows what a lack of a biker I am. But boy, they are nice. Bike week coming up in Daytona. Good time for that. Guess I'm on the wrong side here to show these bikes. But I'm liking this black one here. Ooh, let's see. Black Widow, something like that. Let's see. Let's see. Nope, Road King. Oh my goodness. Beautiful bike. Another black one here.
Lay the bike down.
We go from that to a little bit different message. I would assume the young ladies don't ride the black ones, but I would assume they ride these. Now with Tinder this and whatever that, maybe they do. You can imagine those side pipes there. Those got to be hot. It almost looks like a petty blue, but I don't think they did anything with International Harvester. For a second, I thought it was a Ford. Shows how much I know. But got to keep it right because this is Stock Car Facts. Thanks, folks, for tuning in. We really appreciate it. Evel Knievel. Well, he's gone, and they're still figuring out ways to make money off that guy. Wow. Crazy. Because I remember when I was a kid, and it was the biggest thing when Evel Knievel was going to jump Snake River Canyon. Oh my goodness. Now that new kids are coming in, of course he spelled it Evel, not evil. Oh yeah. He didn't quite make it. He made it further than I would have made it, I'll tell you that. And I barely remember this drag car. I don't know if he ever drove it anywhere. I mean, to be honest with you, I don't remember. But it's a little weathered. But 70s, Evel Knievel was the man. That's all you ever heard from was Evel Knievel. Jumps and stunts and motocross and jump this bus and do that and go here and go there. This kind of looks like it's been repainted, but still pretty cool. Nice old roadster with dark heads. There you go. They're out of Windsor. Very nice, very nice. Of course, how'd you like to sit in those seats? Ouch. Back to landscape. Did a little teaser on the page. Live. Show folks where we'll be this Tuesday. Look at that. Purple. Oh, very nice. Very nice. I don't mind drag cars, but you know, after a couple seconds, it's over. And it's like, okay, and you got to wait for the next run. I'll tell you what, my buddy and I, and he knows who I'm talking about because he'll be watching, went out to Milan about 10 years ago, and we're watching the drag cars, and we literally fell asleep waiting for the next run. You know, they had to clean the track, and somebody dumped oil, and somebody dumped this, and somebody dumped that. And you just, after a while, you just go, man, you know, wait a minute. Now see that right there, I guess you go faster, but they take away the backyard mechanic. And I guess this helps the Iditarod dog sled competition. Smokey and the Bandit. There it is. Very nice. Very, very nice. Eastbound and down. Now you can't tell me that at least one of you out there didn't accidentally mix this color by putting a bunch of other colors in a bucket and then oops, this came out. But it is pretty. I'm talking the purplish, not the grayish. Boy, that's a nice car. 1950. I was a little, I thought this car was a little later than that. But now you got a 49 Ford Coupe, Moonshiner Special. But I don't think this went too far in the back hills of North Georgia or North Carolina or Tennessee. Love that color. 1950 Ford. Again, another decent color. Goes well together. You know, almost reminds me of Back to the Future in a way. Something that Doc Brown would have drove. Love those long lines. And those fender wells. How in the world did we get away from that? Oh, just beautiful. Just unforgettable. Good, it's okay. You're fine, thank you. At least they were concerned. Some people just walk right in front of you. How could I not include this color car on this edition of Stock Car Facts from the 2025 Detroit Autorama? And I'm sorry, I don't know what kind of car this is, but sure is neat. Almost looks like something from Christine. That color was a little more ominous. I expected to start, you know, popping hatches and coming after. There's a kid's named Keith in the movie. I think his name was Keith, I think. Growing up, one of my favorite cars was the Chevy El Camino. 1959 version. I hate to say it, that part of the paint almost looks like, you know, when some of that soap doesn't come off. But I mean, I love that blue. I don't know what you folks think. And then over here we have a 58 Chevy Impala. Everybody loves the 57 Chevy. Well, yeah, those are great, but what is this? Is this a... I was just gonna say brown, but it's almost like a red wine. And I love the accents, the cream accents. Oh, and then white walls. But I don't put white walls on my cars anymore because you run into a curb and oh, you got a white wall around your whole tire. One big white ring. No thanks. Preservation Award recipient. Yeah, I could see that. 1949 Pontiac. I mean, it's not straight A, fireball 8, straight yeah, lets me drive slow in the driveway. It's not like that, but still a pretty car. How could you have an Autorama without shots of these Corvettes here at 57? And the one next to it, I believe it should also be a 57. Yep, it is. That black color right there. If it was red, I guess we could find the one from less than zero. I guess when you go to the Autorama, this is kind of what you're looking for, something like this. And never seen a 1949 Pontiac like this. And this, this is something to remember. I mean, that's an Autorama type car. That is somebody's labor of love right there. And I guess I got to include this Mercury too, 1950. Love that color. My color is orange, but it's like a dark orange, I guess you could say. And like I said, this is the kind of stuff you expect to see at the Detroit Autorama. This should be a 74. It says Roadrunner, but I think it's also like a yeah, okay. I'm gonna say a satellite, but 73, 74, even a 72. 73 Plymouth Roadrunner. So that was close. Buddy Arrington ran one in Cup there in what, 73, 74. Arguably another type of car you would expect to see at an Autorama type show, because you certainly ain't going to see it on the street. And if this guy drives it on the street, he needs a freaking head exam. That's my opinion. But love that color orange. And here we are, the 57 Chevy. But here's the surprising part. Everybody says, oh, the 57 Chevy, they kind of think of it as the quintessential, you know, hot rod. Even though the 57 Ford did outsell it. That's a good trivia question. A couple of the littler cars here. Yes, I'm showing that VW. And this beautiful Shelby Cobra. And I know, don't laugh, but I'm going to show 64 Carmen Ghia. I know. We need to laugh. I like that kind of car. Just kidding. But this is that flat purple is kind of surprising. And I was going to say, don't forget to like and subscribe. And I stop on a Carmen Ghia and ask you that? Well, either way. Hopefully I caught the one Carmen Ghia fan who was watching at that time when I asked that. Okay. Well, it's a Barbie world and I'm a Barbie girl. It's for all you kids. Okay, that's enough. Not necessarily my favorite type of wheels, but my favorite type of car. 65, 66 Chevy Impala or Super Sport or Bel Air or whatever. This is the car that I grew up loving. Well, I'd say any type of Impala from the late 40s on up into the, well, as long as they made them. How in the world could Dodge go from that incredible Charger that I fell in love with in 1974 that Richard Petty was driving to this? And it's nice, but it's not the same. The Auburn Duesenberg Accord. I mean, I guess it's one and the same, but the sign says Auburn. I just think of them all the same by the museum down there in Indiana. And if you haven't seen it, you need to go. It's really, really neat. Okay, 65 Mustang. You guys got your look now. I'm sure you'd say, hey, how come you didn't see the 64, 65, 66 Mustang? Well, here it is. Sorry, we can't show them all. We'll show as many as we can. So growing up in the late 70s, my dad had a 77 Z28. And he belonged in what was called the Camaro Club of Michigan. And we used to have friendly rivals with the Trans Am people. It's basically the same car. I mean, come on. And we'd call them the Trash Ams and the, you know, people like that. But you got to admit, this car is not trash. Whoever did this did that car right. My kind of car. Size, color, seating, front end, just beautiful. 1941 Buick. How could you not want a car like this? And it belonged to Lieutenant Gordon Sterling. And they had asked that if you were either active or retired military, you were under a hand salute. And of course I did. It either way, whether in honor of him or the car, I can certainly see it. Just a beautiful piece of engineering. Well, now we're come to the Waterford Hills road racing section. I'm surprised my buddy Rand ain't skulking around here somewhere. It's been a while since I've been to Waterford Hills. I've been by it a bunch of times. But a lot of, you know, sports car racing. Probably not fit for, you know, like an ARCA type of deal. I tried to get the ARCA trucks in there when I did PR for them. Didn't work out. You know, I didn't really pursue it seriously, but that probably would have been a good track for us to run, especially in the Motor City. That is some bright yellow. Oh, you got to be kidding me. Is that the Ghoul I see? Wow. Okay, back to one of my favorites, 73 Chevy SS Malibu. Of course, I'm not a big fan of that blower sticking above the hood, but it's all right, it's still a beautiful car. That's a feature I forgot these cars had, where the seats turn so you can get out like that. Wow. That didn't last long. It sure was a neat feature. In racing, we work so hard to get the tires on the surface of the track, get as much traction as we can to get the car to turn. And here these guys are trying to get almost all the tires off the ground. Sorry, folks. Excuse me. Seems like everybody's had a neighbor that had this type of model, Ford or Mercury. This is a Cougar. Oh yeah, I think everybody had that neighbor with that kind of car. 1931 Chrysler Roadster. You know darn well the way the roads were back in the 30s. This car didn't stay that clean that long. I should do a deep dive into the types of roads that we had in this country. Because Europe really had some great roads, and we had some horrible ones. And, you know, surprised cars stayed together as long as they did, driving on the nonsense we had then. Of course, not much has seemed to have changed. Yeah, I saw this, that color, that model car, 1958 Chevy Impala. And like I said, since they're my favorite, you're going to be subjected to them. But love that interior. Love that interior. Again, that's a car. And again, I like the fact that it basically looks factory. Not all, I don't know what you call it. Duded up, dolled up. But just beautiful. 1934 Chevy Standard. To be honest, another beautiful car. Just think of the engineering that went into these things. I mean, way back when, this was cutting edge stuff. Nowadays it seems almost primitive, but back then, he definitely were thinking outside the box to create something like this. Okay, I'm getting the girl in here to get the perspective of the motor. Well, engine, sorry. My old pappy used to say, what, did it get wet and grow? Look at the perspective there. That's a lot of air coming in there. That header is probably almost as long as my leg. Wow. Well, I guess if you need a tow truck this size, you either have something that's very expensive or very large. Eric Smith and Cleve, who used to run ARCA regularly, it's kind of sizes they had. Southtown Wrecker in the middle of Illinois there on the highway, towing them semis back. That is exotic. Of course, they messed it all up putting a decal on it. I guess you got to use a fabric strap to tow these, huh? I don't want to scratch up the wheels. I'd like to be the kid that showed up to school with that bike. 1965 Trans Am Tribute Mustang. One of them road course specialists. That's out of Royal Oak. Mike Radinovich. I've never heard of him. Guess he's the one who found it, huh? Okay, so growing up in New Jersey, had a friend whose neighbor had one of these types of vans, and I hate to say it, but I mean, it was, pretty ragged out, and we kind of trashed it. You could just put the van in gear, and we'd run it into the trash dumpster. Oh boy. What an unbehaved brat I was. Of course, I'd help, but that wasn't this nice. So, yeah, it was, if I remember right, like a pale blue, almost flat, primer spots all over it. And definitely didn't look this nice. So if you guys are out there watching, I'm sorry. Sorry I trashed your van. I mean, we didn't trash it to where it couldn't run. Just, ran it into stuff. You know how boys are. I must have been 6, 7 years old. Time heals all wounds, or statute of limitations run out, maybe? How do you not get overwhelmed trying to figure out which way these are supposed to go? You got the gull-wing doors, the hood. Well, trunk, the hood, well, whatever. And how do you do it? I sat in one of these before at one of the NMPA meetings. Hard to get in, hard to get out. Once you're in, you're staying in. I guess that's why you go fast, to get where you're going, so you can get out of there, because you're stuck. Who didn't have a model of this truck, or a Hot Wheels or whatever of this truck in their room in the 70s? 1978 Dodge Little Red Express. I think we called it the Little Red Wagon for a while, but oh yeah. I think you see this truck, I don't know if it's this one, but you see these types of trucks, this model truck here, every year at Autorama. And, gives you that sense of nostalgia. I think it's pretty neat. This takes me back to the childhood days. I know some people say, that wasn't too long ago. 74 Chevy Camaro Z28. The kind, like I had said earlier, my dad had in the Camaro Club of Michigan that we belonged to. Got a lot of these. Of course, that back seat there, it's very small. Back when I was a kid, it was small. The girth I have now, it's really small. I'm sorry, but you cannot leave out a vehicle with a paint job like this. What is this? Chevy S10? Let's see what this is. This would be a... Boy, I was way off. 1989 Dodge. Wow. I totally missed that.
You literally brought
Gold Javelin. I've never seen a gold Javelin before. I've only seen them red, white, blue. That's my era. Is it 69, 70? What is this? Oh, 74. Whoops. Well, I sure blew that. I guess we're at the part of Autorama. I don't know what the heck I'm looking at. Is this? Looks like a Charger, but the side windows don't. So I blew the last 2 years. Let's see if I can get this one. This is a Challenger, I'm sure, but... Oh, Dodge Charger, okay. Oh, 2025, okay. The side window threw me. Well, that's 3 in a row I blew. Would this be a Mr. Bean car? A little too large. Still kind of cool, though. Kind of like the decals on the side there. 68 Saab. Dirt Bomb? Well, that's different. Well, coming to the end of the line for me. I'm done with the show. Appreciate you hanging in there. I know I ask it a lot, and I'm going to keep asking. Please like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. If you're going to comment, please leave comments in the section here on YouTube. I'll get back to them as fast as I can. We're going to end up on this 25th, well, not 25th, 2025 Autorama here in Detroit for the 1938 Lincoln Zephyr. Thanks again, folks, for watching. I guess if you ever have time, whenever you're here in Detroit, the month of February or March, come on down. I know when we post this, the show will already have been over, but they do it every year. Every year. You always have a chance. Come on down. I guess I fibbed. We'll end up on the 1970 Chevy C10. And we'll back out on that with the Pontiac right next to it. So again, thanks for watching, and we'll lead out with some cityscape shots. Hope you enjoy those. Leaving the cityscape now. Thank you, coppers, for sending us through. Okay. They're gonna sit, so I'm gonna go. This is the skyline of Detroit, which a lot of folks may not have seen before. The Motor City. And that is the Renaissance Center over there. This over here. The tall building, we call that the Naked Lady Statue Building. The one next to it with the crane, that's the City County Building. The CMAC Building. And then the Tunnel to Canada is coming right up. Yes, those stack of buildings over there, that's Windsor, Ontario, Canada. So I guess at these lights here, it's kind of like a drag race, because you don't want to get stuck in the lane to Canada, and that's what I'm doing here, and I win. I guess the lady thought she wanted to drag race me. And yeah, again, on the right here would be the tunnel to Canada, to a foreign country, one of the longest unprotected borders in civilization. You know, she's going to move over. So now we're even. So now I'll move over. So now you're basically leaving downtown Detroit. This is kind of the official, unofficial exit of the Motor City, downtown Detroit. But Detroit itself really is big area-wise. We go by mile roads, and I live pretty close to 8 Mile, and a lot of people, oh, 8 Mile, you know, from the movie. But, you know, really it's just a dividing line. And 5 blocks south of where I live is 8 Mile, and then about 200 yards was the Michigan State Fairgrounds, where they ran a couple of NASCAR races in the early 50s, and then ARCA races and USAC stock car races into the 1960s. And then finally, the track came into disrepair, and figures in the Motor City, everything seems to fall apart and everybody gets mad because they don't fix it. But we'll do a feature on that pretty soon. We have a lot of content coming your way, a lot of stuff we think you guys will enjoy. We just like to present the Autorama every year because it meant so much to us as kids. And this is I-75 North, heading out of the city toward the suburbs. Oakland County is one of the largest income per capita counties in the nation. I believe it's either 4th or 6th. And the other ones in front of it are in California. And it's because of the auto industry and the OEMs and things like that. Aftermarket parts supply places. So Detroit itself, coming back. But the suburbs, oh yeah. Beautiful, prospering. Yeah. It's definitely a place that you might want to consider living. Other than in the winter. And I think if I see one more snowflake, you might hear me do a broadcast on screaming. Again, thanks for tuning in. We always enjoy taking you through Autorama. And please share these experiences on your social media. Give somebody else a chance to watch them. When you do that, it's kind of like you saying, hey, I enjoyed it, and I think you might too. Sharing's really easy. YouTube gives you a share button. You can share it on Twitter, you can share it on Instagram, Facebook, whatever. Truth Social, I guess, whatever is your deal. So, but no matter what you share it on, I just appreciate the fact that you tuned in. We really enjoy making this content. And like I say, in the next few months, you're going to see some stuff that we really think you'll enjoy. Some pretty rare stuff. Some stuff that I'm working on real hard. Oops, sorry about the fingers there. To get people on the show. We've got some people on the show I'm really pretty happy with myself about. And they were great guests. And I think you'll enjoy what they had to say. So thanks so much, and we'll see you next Tuesday.